What's up, my people? It's your boy Marcus David once again. Welcome to my channel. If you haven't watched part one of this video, make sure you watch it. If you have watched part one already, welcome to part two. Stay tuned. I'm jumping straight into it. Let me show you how to get yourself a free air ticket. Bam, people. So it's just simple and easy. I'm gonna explain Miles and More shortly for people who don't know about it. If you know Miles and More, well and good. So we are here. We wanna spend some miles. Reason I'm saying this, like I said, I'm just showing it directly first, then I'll rewind back the steps that how to get to this point and how to get to book the ticket. In part one, I mentioned about collecting points via payback points and everything. Now this is the part two, but I'm fast forwarding. We wanna see if at all we could get an air ticket with bonus points or points. Then I'm gonna show you how to convert these points to from payback and how it's related to miles and more and blah blah blah. So I'm gonna use Frankfurt, which is an international hub. Nairobi is my frequent flying destination. I fly to many destinations via this process, so I'm just trying to use a simple one that we could relate to. So Easter, no, around August is always expensive to fly because that's the, let's say, the longest school holidays around here. So I'm using this as an example because that's one among the expensive period to fly. In August and December, those are the most expensive that I know. So adult above 12 years is considered an adult. I'm booking for myself. With this, you can also book for any other person, whether it's a relative, a friend, or anybody. You can, with the points which you'll be accumulating, which I'll show you later, you can book ticket to anybody. These are some of the airlines that you can book ticket with. We'll get back to that. So we just want to see directly. We want to see about registering. I'll tell you shortly. I just want to prove to you guys you can book a flight with points. Then we can start talking of how to get those points and how to convert those points. So stay tuned, stay tuned. We are loading, people. We are loading. Here down you can see my card number, points down there. We'll get back to that too. So I just want to show you guys we need points. Why you need points? Why should not let these points be crossing over your nose when you are shopping and doing everything. So you can see here I made Frankfurt, Nairobi. How many points do you need? 40,000, 40,000, 40,000, 40,000. It's always standard. It's always standard depending on, it doesn't depend on which part of the month or which period of the year. It's always standard 40,000 miles. So this is Egyptian Air. I don't fly with Egyptian Air. Nothing against them, but I prefer Ethiopian Air. For me, I would do Ethiopian. Let's see if we could get another flight. I'll explain later why some other airlines are coming up on this platform, even though I'm in miles and more. So that's 40,000 miles round trip to from Frankfurt to Nairobi and Nairobi and back. That's why it's called round trip. Round trip. So it's not one way 40,000 miles. It's round trip 40,000 miles. So let me go a bit back now. We have already seen 40,000 miles is what we need. 40,000 miles is what we need. So for the sake of those people who don't know what miles and more is, miles and more is is a point collecting system, just like payback works. But it's a product of Lufthansa. If you fly with Lufthansa, you definitely be collecting miles, but doesn't happen automatic. You have to register by the miles and more, and also be giving these numbers. So for me here, that's my service card number. Every time you're booking a flight, you give that service card number, you'll end up getting award miles. Award miles is like the miles that you fly. So these award miles, let me see if I can show you exactly here. I have an example of the award miles. So this is from payback. I had converted here in March because there's a few points which I had. Let me see if I can see the other miles that I converted recently or accumulated recently. Newsletter subscription, everything. What I don't find. So there's status miles and there's award miles. So let's see if I can see more of that. Let's see if I can see more of that. That's my award miles. So as you can see here, this 27th of January, I received just one-way flight is 3,324. One-way flight, return flight as well, the same, and the connecting flight from Addis Ababa to Nairobi, Nairobi, Addis Ababa, 725 miles. So that's how the miles are being collected, like the way, the distance of the flight that you're taking. So let's get back to there. We saw 40,000 miles. So that's how you use the miles. So like I said, miles and more is part of Lufthansa, but it doesn't mean that you have to fly with Lufthansa alone. I already showed you Ethiopian Air. So which other airlines could you book your flight with? Star Alliance members. I don't want membership, but I want members. Star Alliance members. So Star Alliance is it's a group of airlines that came up together to cooperate together. So it means they have partnership to make their services easier, to offer their services easily. So let me show you more United Airlines. Why don't we just members? I just want to see Star Alliance members. Star Alliance members, where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Should I use this one? That seems to be easy. No, that's also complicated. Just want to show you it in the simplest way possible. Simplest way possible. All Star. Let me use this. So as you see here, all these airlines over here, all these airlines that you see over here are part of the Star Alliance. These are part of the Star Alliance. You can see Egyptian Air, Ethiopian Air, Lufthansa, Shenzhen, that's a China airline, Singapore, South African, New Zealand, Air Canada, Air China. So if at all you want to fly to any of these destinations, you can use these airlines and you'll still be using your points that you collect over there. So we've seen, this is a simple example to Nairobi, 40,000 points. Let me check if at all a friend of mine, let's say he lives in Kigali or something like that, same period time, what will be the point that they require, because it varies. That's the miles, distance, miles. So to Kigali also will require 40,000 points, 40,000 miles. I mean 40,000 points, miles. You could use them in any. Let's see. I got a buddy of mine who lives in Senegal. Let's see if he decides to fly to Dakar this time this time period, how many points he require. Yo, turn up, turn up, turn up, turn up. You're too easy, too slow, too slow, too slow. So to Dakar, you prefer they did not literally. So to Dakar, you could get also some 40,000 miles to Dakar. They don't have so many flights to Dakar. So which other place? Which other place? Should we check Nigeria, to my Nigerian friends? Where? Lagos or which other part? I don't know which is the biggest hub in. It doesn't have to be the biggest hub in Nigeria. Let's see. This year, that's also an important part. That one you can just have it there in mind. We'll talk about it later. 40,000 miles also from Frankfurt to Lagos. Let's say another airport. Let's say we use Hamburg or something like that, so that it doesn't seem like you have to use Frankfurt all the time. Let's say if you're connecting a flight from Frankfurt is a direct flight mostly. It's an international hub. Let's assume you're using a local hub. So 40,000 miles also, 40,000 miles. Let me check it again from, let's say, Berlin. Berlin, they have a new airport. Let's say we want to go to which part now? Which part from Dar-esalam? Dar-esalam, Tanzania. You want to do a holiday in Tanzania? Maybe get a boat to Zanzibar or something like that. Big up to my friends over there. I'll be visiting soon. So 40,000 miles still 40,000 miles. So how do you acquire these 40,000 miles? First of all, let me show you how you convert your payback points. So that you see the relation between part 1 of this video and part 2 of this video. So here you want to earn miles. Reason being, you don't have your miles here by Miles and More, you have them by payback. I assume if you have registered now as a new member, you've received 200 points, which I kindly shared with you. So work up, try and save more or earn more points. So here you come here by conversion offer. First of all, you have to sign up by Miles and More, definitely register yourself there. I'll put the link down on the description. Register by Miles and More, or you can just choose any other airline. If you prefer Ethiopian airline most of the time, just go by Ethiopian airline. Sign up by Sheba. I think their program is called Sheba or something like that. You can sign up by there. You can still join the program. But I don't know if Sheba has a partnership with Payback. That's why I prefer Miles and More. That one haven't done that research. That one you can do it by yourself. So here I told you if you want to convert your payback points to Miles and More, you come here to conversion offers. When you come to conversion offers, you'll see some multiple ways of where you can convert your points. So the rest here are not that important because I don't see how everybody relates to earning points through Shell petrol station. Not everybody goes to Shell petrol station and everything. But payback, most of the people go for shopping, go for all this kind of day-to-day expenditure. You can earn your points with payback. So if you come there, you click on payback, and you see here the conversion is 1 mile per 1 payback point. So in this case, we are doing the other way around, 1 payback point to 1 miles. So if you already register with the link that I gave you, or if you're a long time member, you've already converted to the application, you're earning more points now, this is the way you do it. So these are the terms and conditions. You have collected your points and everything. This offer only applies to Germany. Reason being, payback and Miles and More. Miles and More is Lufthansa, it's a German base. If you're living in Austria, you're living in Belgium or any other country where payback point is running, just check if they have an affiliation with the local airlines over there. But this one is basically for Germans because of the Miles and More. If at all not, holler at me. We can see how we could work with your payback points, maybe convert them in another way, and we could see how you could get yourself some free air tickets. So payback points, minimum of 200 payback points is what you can convert over to Miles and More. So if you registered through my link, you already have 200 already. If you've been collecting points for a long time, you're safe. So this is another important thing. The subscription mileage only takes place in March and September. So like you just saw the other previous page, my points 300 and something were turned over to Miles and More. So you connect your payback account to Miles and More, and in March and September, these 2 calendar periods, that's when all your points would be turned over. So how does that happen? How do you match both accounts, like payback and Miles and More? You have to register. You've already registered by payback points. These are the 200 points that I've collected in less than 2 weeks or so. There's a way you come here and you'll see how to register your payback points to Miles and More. That's the place. I can't show everything at this moment. I just want to keep this video as short as possible. Yeah, so the other main best way to collect points, point 1 was payback points. This is the next one. This is the